Hey, Yinz guys and gals, gather around for a journey like no other. It's time to hop on board the Yinz Goin podcast. From the rivers that meet at the point to form downtown Pittsburgh, to the sheer face of Half Dome, to the furthest corners of the globe, Matt will be your compass, your confidant, your companion as we explore the wonders of travel. So sit back, relax on your couch, and let the wanderlust whoosh over Yinz as we discover new horizons and reminisce about old favorites. With Matt by our side, the sky's the limit. Join Matt on the Yinz Goin podcast because when it comes to travel, the journey's just getting started. And now, without further ado, let's give a shot for your guide through the highways and byways of travel. Your planning partner, the man with the map, Matt Schraeder. Hi, Yinz doing? Welcome to the Where Yinz Going podcast. I'm Matt. I'm your host. Joining me again today is Maureen. This is Maureen's ninth visit, and it's
Whoa,
also the first episode of the third season of the Where Yinz Going podcast. So, how about
awesome.
that?
That sounds pretty cool.
And by the way, Maureen, starting on your 10th appearance, your pay doubles each episode.
Wow, that's pretty cool too.
So, that's the thing that most people get excited about.
They strive for that. That's right.
So, today we are going to talk about one of Maureen's favorite places at Walt Disney World Resort, the Animal Kingdom Lodge. Which, by the way, as we're recording this, Maureen has recently just come back from a visit to the happiest place on earth, or sorry,
We did
most magical
indeed.
place on
That's
earth.
magical place.
Get it right.
Yes.
And she didn't stay. Did you stay at the Animal Kingdom Lodge?
Not this time. We
Okay.
stayed some. We try to go someplace because my daughter collects pins from every resort. So we had not stayed at Saratoga before with her. So Casey got to stay, so she can now get a pin from that resort as well. She has pins for every resort we stayed on and every ship we sailed on.
We do something similar, although it's collecting refrigerator magnets for every state and every country that we visit.
Okay.
So we have a nice collection going for that too. But Saratoga Springs, that is the one that we stay at the most often recently, just
Okay.
because I'm a DVC member and that's my home resort. So we can book that 11 months in advance, and usually whenever it's the 7 month period, we try to get something else. They're all full. So,
We
but
actually got that one because we're DVC as well. And we got that one pretty close to travel time because I realized we had points that I had to use.
yeah, now we can get other ones, but we just like to get the studio, and that's all we really need. So those are the
Right.
ones that are
Yeah.
usually full.
Those are
The
the
one
ones that go
bedroom,
fast very quickly. Yeah.
yeah, but the one bedrooms and two bedrooms, those are pretty nice too.
We had a one bedroom and it was lovely.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we we slum it and go to the Saratoga Springs, I guess.
I like it.
No, it is such an amazing resort. It's a lot of fun.
It's
We've had,
beautiful. But of the ones on in Disney property, Animal Kingdom is still my favorite.
and we're going to talk about
And
why.
yes.
So it opened on April 16th, 2001, which I'm very disappointed in this. That Animal Kingdom Park opened on April 22nd, 1998, on Earth Day. They couldn't have waited like 6 more days for this.
Right? That would make so much more
It,
sense.
but we can check which day of the week that was, and that was probably some of the logistics. But come on, this is Disney Magic here.
Right?
So, but scanning now on April 16th. That was a Monday.
Oh,
So April 22nd would have been a Sunday.
well,
Missed
yeah.
opportunities. But anyway, the Jumbo House Villas opened on July 2nd, 2007, and then Kidani Village opened on May 1st, 2009. Speaking of DVC stuff. Now, even though they are DVC, other people who are not DVC members can still stay in those places.
Absolutely. And I have many guests that have chosen that resort.
Yeah, I highly recommend it as well. The theme of the resort is the African Safari Lodge, which they pull off very, very well. and is in the category of a deluxe and a DVC hotel. So just to get a general layout of what it looks like, that Jumbo House is in the east, and it's shaped like kind of like a slingshot with spurs coming out on the bottom, like
Hmm.
in different areas. But it's got like a U-ish Y shape type thing.
Right.
It's a U
Yeah.
with a thing coming out the bottom, and then has little spurs coming out. It's a great architectural design to give more people views of the surrounding savannas and the animals.
Right.
Kidani Village, that's in the west, and it basically looks like a backwards three when you're standing south looking north. If you look at
Yeah.
the overhead, it's a
Okay.
backward. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are separate check-in areas for each of them. So make sure whenever you go that you know where you're staying. And the resort,
Yeah.
yeah, you don't want to go to the wrong spot. Although with resorts that are that big, they usually have a little golf cart that they can take you around.
And they do, because if you stay in one, you want to go to the other one, there's a lovely walking path, and it's not that long, but they do have a golf cart type thing that will run people back and forth.
And speaking of golf cart type things, at Saratoga Springs, they have one of those too, because that's a very big resort.
Yes, they do. Oh, it's huge.
So in the overall, Animal Kingdom Lodge is to the west of Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park. So it's not right next door. It's kind of behind it. So you're not going to be able to just walk to the front entrance. So keep that in mind. Now there are 1,307 rooms and 708 villas. You can get either the water view, quote unquote water view, which means you're going to see a pool, which technically it's water, you know. There's a resort view and then the Savannah view. And then overall, I'd say
And
the, go ahead.
Savannah, the
Yeah,
Savannah view,
that's the
like
one you
hands
want.
down. Yep, absolutely.
Well, it
There's
depends.
nothing like waking up and having the giraffes right there. I mean, I feel like they come to see me every time I go to visit them. They just know I'm there. I have my coffee and they come up to see us.
I wouldn't believe anything else. I mean,
Of course.
everyone, you hear how awesome Maureen is. Why would the giraffes not want to come see her? So, in Jumbo House, there all the rooms have a patio or balcony. This includes the club level, the studios, and the villas. The rooms will either have two queens that sleep four or a king that will sleep two, and there are accessible rooms that are available. Now, speaking of that club level, and this is the way to go because once you go club level, you're never going back. That some of the amenities you get concierge service at the Kilimanjaro Club. And by the way, if you look on the Disney website, they misspell Kilimanjaro. One of
That's
the I's is
funny.
an A. And they in the Kilimanjaro Club, they serve refreshments from 7 in the morning till 10 at night. So you get nice daytime snacks if you want to go in and grab something. It also mentions on the website that it's complimentary health club access, but it's free for everybody. So I
They're
don't know.
always right.
So that's another thing. Be careful what different places will advertise. You know, if there's a company, book through us and stay to Disney Resort, and we'll get you in a half hour early to the parks. Well, anybody who stays at a Disney park gets in, or a Disney Resort
Yeah,
gets in a half hour early. So,
right.
yeah, don't make sure you do your homework or talk to one of us, and we're not going to pull those little
Exactly.
things on you. So, you also get personalized front desk and guest services. So, when you're on property, it's like having your own travel advisor do stuff for you. Now, the Savannah View at club level has either the two queens that sleep four or a king that sleeps two. There are one bedroom suites that they'll have two queen beds and then a queen sleeper sofa. This will sleep six, and this is either resort view or a Savannah view. There's the two bedroom suite. They'll have a king bedroom in the one, two queens in the other bedroom, and then the queen sleeper sofa. There's a mouthful that sleeps eight, and that only offers Savannah views. So they know how to treat people.
Yes.
And then this is Maureen's favorite place to stay, the Royal Asante Presidential Suite.
Right.
This is on the fifth floor of Jumbo House. And I think Maureen and I talked about size of houses that we initially lived in and stuff like that. That this is 2,100, well, bigger than 2,100 square feet, which is bigger than my house and was bigger than
Bigger than our first house, yes.
Maureen's first house. Now she has
And
the place
probably
she'll
close to
stay.
ours. Right, exactly.
This also has a view of the Arusha Savannah, which we'll talk about the different savannas in a little bit. There are two bedrooms. One has a king and the other has two queen beds, so it sleeps six. There are three bathrooms, a full kitchen, a dining table for eight, which I guess you can bring over friends since there's only six people who can stay there. And the design of this place is really interesting. That there is a circular living room with a fireplace. That the room is shaped like a circle, as it like kind of sticks out on the one side of the resort, the resort building. There's also a study and then a furnished balcony that wraps around the suite. And so it's like a circular thing that goes around the living room area. It reminds me of a house that's near my parents' house that we moved into that house. Oh, I was about 10 years old or so. And I kind of in the neighborhood, there's a house that is circular. And so it was
Oh,
course dubbed
fun.
the Circle House. And every time we would drive by, we'd always talk like, especially when we first moved in, it's like, how do you furnish that? I mean, like you get your
Right?
couch and you have like that little gap in the back. Do you have to like get custom furniture to match the curvature and stuff? So,
Well, ironically, the night before our last trip to Disney, we stayed at the hotel because had a sky really early morning flight, and it's an old Pentagon a government building that was on property at the airport, and they renovated it to a Hyatt, and it's circular. So the rooms are somewhat pie shaped, and you can tell when you go in because I was driving me nuts because it looked like the furniture wasn't against the wall, but it was because the carpeting, the way it is laid, and it had a pattern because it's pie shaped, was not coinciding with the furniture. It was what I kept wanting to shove the furniture to make it straight, and it was, but the room was not straight totally because it was, yeah, it was unique. It was unique.
reminds me of an incident I had in our basement hanging like posters and stuff that I measured carefully from the I don't know if I measured from the ceiling or the floor, but it was perfect. Then whenever I hung it, it was like, wait, this is crooked. Then I measured from the floor. It's like, oh, the basement floor is not exactly level. Oh, so I had to redo some things to make it. It was like, no, wait, no matter what, it looks wrong.
Right.
So I just had to, deal with it now. Figure, okay, I'm a guy. I'm not going to be that exact. It's the one room where my wife said, okay, you can decorate how you want.
There you go.
You got the rest of the house. So now the DVC part, there's the villas. And as Maureen and I mentioned, deluxe studios, which are very popular. You can get these either Jumbo House or Kidani Village. They have Resort View or Savannah View. There's a queen bed and then a double sleeper sofa, so it sleeps four. There's a little kitchenette, which basically has a small fridge. And it's interesting that in the other rooms, it's a beverage cooler, but
Right.
in the villas, it's a small refrigerator. And then there's like a little area with like a counter with a sink. It has a coffee maker, a toaster, microwave. They give you paper bowls and plates, some plasticware, some paper cups. So it you can have a little meal in the room if you'd like. There's ability to make some food. And these can also be club level at Jumbo House. The one bedroom, which get even better, either Jumbo House or Kidani Village. They are Resort View or Savannah View, a king in the one bedroom. Then there's the queen sleeper sofa and a twin sleeper chair that sleeps five. There's two full bathrooms, a full kitchen, a living dining room area that's kind of like an open concept type thing. They even have a washer and dryer, and they can also be club level at Jumbo House.
For families, having that washer and dryer is an incredible addition because it limits the packing you have to do, and it gives you a chance in the middle of the week to throw a few things in so that you can pack a little easier going home. It's a really nice thing to have. I don't whichever village you have wherever, but it's nice to have that washer and dryer.
Yeah, we stayed at a one bedroom one time when we went down just for a real quick trip. It was a few days. It was sort of like a honeymoon type thing that we had gone earlier in the year, actually when we got engaged, that we got a deal that you could buy 5 days of park tickets and you got 7 days. And the extra, but the days did not expire like after the couple days of your stay, like they do now. It was an
Hmm.
extended thing. So we were like, all right, we got two park tickets, and that's when we used my DVC points. It was kind of late. We're like, all right, let's just go down. And all they had was the least expensive was the one bedroom at Saratoga Springs. And so we're like, well, we're only on for a few days. Let's splurge. And so we got it. And we walk in. My wife saw the washer and dryer. She's like, oh my gosh, I want to do some laundry. It's like we have like three things to wear. She's like, I don't care. I just want to do laundry. It's just so cool. I was like, wait, you never do that at home. I'm the one who does the laundry. What? So, but we actually had a washer and dryer on our trip to Australia. We got like a little apartment type thing that we were staying at, and that we did the laundry before we came home. Just because my wife said
Hmm.
it's gonna be a long flight. I don't want to do laundry when we get home. Let's just do it now. So
Yeah.
it's nice.
Well, we had when Casey and I were down there, we had our first day was it poured rain off and on the first day when we got there, and we were at Epcot, and we took advantage of that thing to get some of those clothes washed dried and our shoes. We took the insoles out and kind of threw them in there because it was, I mean, we were soaked. It was great to have that.
Oh, absolutely. And especially if you're there during the summer and you got some hot, sweaty,
Hmm.
it's like, okay, I don't want to put, you know, my t-shirt's kind of soaked, especially because we went on um, Cali River Rapids like 5 times. So I don't want that water coming home with us. So it's nice
Right.
to clean that.
It's just, yeah, it really is.
Or the little one who has their favorite shirt or the one that they
And you
bought
want to
down
wear
there.
it
It's
every
like,
day.
can I wear it again? It's like, all
Right.
right. Now, the two-bedroom villas, these are only at Kidani Village. Again, resort view or Savannah view. One bedroom will have a king, the other bedroom has two queens. There's a queen sleeper sofa and the twin sleeper chair. That sleeps nine with three full bathrooms, full kitchen, the living dining area, and of course the washer and dryer.
I will say that that was the best thing ever. We went, that was actually our first DVC stay. And when I called to make reservations, they said, how many people? And at the time, it was my husband and I, my daughter with a friend, and then my son and his husband. And they said, well, this one has three bathrooms. I said, oh, sold. We have six adults, three bathrooms. Absolutely. And we're not talking just the powder room. We're talking three full bathrooms. So
Oh
there were
yeah.
three showers and three. I mean, it was great. It was the best thing ever.
I have three sisters, so growing up we could have definitely used that in our house.
Right. Well, my husband had, there are five kids in his family and two adults, and they had one bathroom the whole time they're growing up. So I don't know how in the world.
Yeah. Now we eventually did. Now my parents do have like 3.5 bathrooms in their house because they put one in the basement, and then they have one like an ensuite in their bedroom, and then there was the main one we used. So now we could handle that a little bit better. But yeah, having four teenagers in the house at once, that was
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
you had to get up earlier in the morning if you wanted to get the shower,
Very.
or at least the hot water too. Yeah. And then there's the three-bedroom grand villa. These are at Jumbo House or Kidani Village. They have a resort view or Savannah view, 2,300 square feet. Again, once you stay at one of those, it's like, yeah, I could get used to this. One
I
bedroom will have,
toured this one.
yeah, one bedroom will have a
I did a
king.
tour. Yeah, it was beautiful.
The other two bedrooms have two queens. Then there's the queen sleeper sofa, sleeps 12, three bathrooms in the Jumbo House. In the Kidani Village, there are four bathrooms. There's a full kitchen, living dining area. The Jumbo House, to make up for only having three bathrooms, they have a game room.
Yeah,
And of course, there's the washer and dryer. Or if you're in Pittsburgh, from Pittsburgh, the washer and dryer net.
for sure. I'm trying to
Worship.
remember whether I saw the three bedroom at Jambo or Kidani because the one that we saw was actually two stories. So it was they had stairs in it and they have to accommodate guests that have accessible needs. They have a doorway on the upstairs level as well, so they can take an elevator and go upstairs in that one if they have to. Because one of the things that hit me that they thought about that, but it was I can't remember whether it was Jumbo or Kidani now,
And I think both of
but it
them are
was
2 stories
beautiful.
tall.
Were they two? I don't
I, th-
remember.
I
Because
think
I don't
both of
remember
them
which
are.
one I saw.
Yeah, I know at the other resorts, the Grand Villas are pretty much always two stories. I don't
I
remember
know
seeing one that's
Alani's
only
is
one.
not. Alani
Okay,
is the
Lonnie's the
three
one.
bedroom is one. Yeah.
That's off
But you're in
property.
Hawaii. That's
That's a
okay,
lot.
you know.
Yeah. I guess we'll suffer with just one bedroom
With one, yeah.
or
Three
one
bedrooms, one
floor.
floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So the other thing though is with those little sleeper chairs, those are great for kids. That
Hmm.
I remember when we were little, we had just little kid furniture that like little couch that would then fold out and a little chair that would fold out and I remember just wanting to sleep on those just because I thought they were cool. And now we have one that's like a little couch. It like sits on the ground, so it's real low, and it'll unfold into a little bed. That my daughter sleeps on that all the time. It's like, we have a regular bed for you. It's like, I like this one on the floor. Okay.
This is mine. This is my special one.
Yeah. So anyway, now let's talk about the savannas because that's a big draw here. They are separate areas from the Kilimanjaro safaris. So you're not seeing the exact same, well, you might see the same species, but not the exact same animals.
Right.
So there's four of them. There is Sunset. This is between Jambo House and Kidani Village. This is the largest. And you're going to see giraffes and ostriches are the main draws there. And it's famous for seeing the sunsets, especially if you're in Jambo House, you're looking west. You can see the sun setting behind Kidani Village. Then there's the Arusha. This is between the wings of Jambo House. It can be seen from the lobby, and you're going to see giraffes, zebras, and wildebeest. So this is kind of like to the northeast of the building. Then there's Uzima, which is this is on the east of Jumbo House, and it's giraffe, kudu, and flamingo are the big draws. And then the Pembe, which is the quote unquote hidden savanna, this is on the west of Kidani Village. So you got to go all the way to the Kidani Village and then go on the one side of it. And it's the only habitat that will have okapis in it. So, Maureen, do you have a favorite one you like to go to?
I have actually stayed at that on a room at that one at the where the okapis are. And it was
Okay.
interesting to watch them because at night the one time we went out we saw lights and we didn't know what was happening and they had a Jeep out there with lights on. They're apparently missing one of them and they're
Oh,
trying to
geez.
locate. So we kind of watched it. I like to stay the it's probably Arusha or the Uzima because it's where definitely where we have the most of the giraffes because those are one of the ones that I like to watch the most.
Yeah, and there's giraffes in several of them, so they know what the big draws are.
Well, and the other thing too, I always try to remind my guests is when you request a room, you don't want it too high up because if you're above the tree line, you're not going to see the animals as much. So you only want to be like second or third floor kind of thing. So you're there that you can see the animals better. Too high up, they get lost within the trees.
At Jurassic Park, that's a different place you want to be up higher, but we'll talk about that on a
Exactly.
different episode. And now dining. There is there are several places. Now this is a deluxe resort, so they have a lot of sit-down restaurants. Table service is the quote unquote, use the official parlance, right? And first is Jiko, the cooking place, which Jiko is Swahili for the cooking place, which I think they could have just gotten by with calling it Jiko. And then once word gets out about what it
They would
means,
know what it meant.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think you have to, throw that in everybody's face. But I don't know. I'm not the multi-billion-dollar industry or, company in the industry. So what do I know? This is in Jumbo House. It is only open for dinner from 5 o'clock till 9:30 p.m. Recommended reservations are recommended, and it's a blend of African, Indian, and Mediterranean cuisine, and the menu changes seasonally. So this means you just have to go back multiple times each year.
It's a beautiful restaurant. They when we were there at the one this pre-COVID, they offered a tasting in there. And it wasn't the wine tasting. They offered it was a tasting and it was beautiful and it was lovely. It was lovely. They're not doing those anymore.
Yeah, they did offer wine tastings at one point. Not very often now. I don't know if they've come back since COVID. But the restaurant has two wood fire ovens. And now this is more of an upscale place. So it requires two table service meals if you're using the dining plan. And there is a dress code. And to quote their website, this restaurant is a Disney signature dining experience offering fine dining with a distinctly magical flair. And then this is in bold guests are expected to dress accordingly in attire that respects the restaurant's sophisticated and upscale aesthetic. Clothing should be clean, neat, and in good condition. Please, no swimwear. So this is when you want to pack those nice pair of Dockers and either a
And a
button-down
polo or
shirt
a
or a
nice
polo
yeah.
shirt. Ladies with a nice pair of slacks or a nice little dress. So look nice.
No swimsuits cover. No. Mm-mm.
Don't wear the socks with the hole in it.
There you go.
Next is Boma, Flavors of Africa.
So good.
And again, I don't need think they needed to throw in the extra little addendum to the
Flavors
name.
of Africa? Right, yeah. Nobody
But
says that anyway. We're going to go eat
yeah,
at Boma.
this is also in Jumbo House. Breakfast is 7:30 in the morning to 11:30 in the morning, and dinner is from 5 until 9:30 in the evening. The theme is an African marketplace, and this has an open kitchen, so you get to see them making stuff. And they have a buffet with flavors from over 50 African nations and favorite American classics. So,
That's also one that they used to have a tour of, and it was free, and you signed up, and they went around and explained everything that was in the restaurant, which is really interesting to see why they have tables set up the way they do, what was on the tables, what's on the back of the chairs, why they're on the back of the chairs. And it's all very much back to the African heritage. And they're very proud of it. The person who took us around was extremely proud of her heritage and explained everything. And then they let us taste food from the buffet, and it was delightful.
you had me if you could taste food.
I right. Oh, and that was part. Yeah, that was the whole tour was cool. But then they said, and now we'd like you to be able to taste something. Yeah, okay. That was my first time I ever had zebra domes, and they are amazing.
I was
Have
going
you
to add,
had a
it
zebra
wasn't the
dome?
last. It was not the last time she had them.
No, it was not. And now I know that you can actually get them in the gift store in the refrigerator section in a little pack of four to take back to the room with you. I did not know that initially, but now I know.
I've never had them. Would you like to explain to everyone out there listening what a
I
zebra
don't
dome
even
is?
know. I need to see exactly how they describe these. They're chocolate for one thing, and they're little round domes covered in chocolate, a little bit of white icing. And I'm trying to remember. Now I'm going to have to look it up while you're talking because I have to remember moose treats. They're
Yeah.
mousse, so they're little mousse inside. They're actually not covered in chocolate. They're chocolate stripes.
Yeah. So it's a,
It's a delicate cake base topped with amarula cream liqueur mousse, coated in white chocolate and decorated with chocolate stripes and shavings. And to let you know how good they are, my husband does not like white chocolate because he said it's not real chocolate. He loves them. Those are good.
yeah.
It's a
And
hint of, they describe it as a distinct hint of the amarula coffee or liqueur, coffee, and caramel. They're
so,
wonderful.
and you don't have to worry. There's no zebras used to make them.
Exactly. There are no zebras harmed in the making of zebra domes.
We're seeing all the Girl Scout cookies being sold, but caution, please be careful. False advertising. They're not made from real Girl Scouts.
That is true as well.
Next up on the menu here is Sanaa, Sanaa. This is in Kidani Village. It's basically in the at the middle of the resort, so at the point of the backwards three, so it overlooks the Sunset Savannah, and the animals are most active there in the morning. So this is where you want to go for your breakfast. It opens at 7:30, goes to 11. They have lunch from 11:30 to 3, and then dinner from 5 to 9:30. This is a
And you
quick,
can request a table at the by the windows to see the animals if you're lucky enough to get one.
yeah, and it's quick service for breakfast, but table service for lunch and dinner. Is inspired by East Africa, so there's African cooking with Indian flavors, and it's more familiar. There are more familiar foods for those who are not quite as adventurous with their palates. There's also
The best thing there is their bread service with the different types of flatbread and all the dipping sauces. And I
mhm.
could just have that and be just fine and dandy.
Reminds me of whenever we go to Texas Roadhouse locally. That my wife and daughter, it's like let's just get the bread, and they fill up on that, and then they order their meal. They take about 2 bites. All right, I'm full. I'll take this home, which is great because it's two meals in one.
There you go.
Now, there's also the Sanaa Lounge, which is open from 11:30 in the morning to 11 o'clock at night, and you can order some of the things from the normal Sanaa menu there. So, if
Including
you,
the bread service.
and that's the nice thing that if you ever can't get a reservation or can't get into the Sanaa, go to the lounge, and then you can still get some of the food. And that's true of many of the lounges that are attached to restaurants in Walt Disney World. That you can still order from the actual restaurant menu, even though you're just in the lounge, and you can, if you can't get in the one, go to the other. And so that's great. You don't have to necessarily have the reservation if it's a spur of the moment or you couldn't get in.
Right.
Of course,
And we
that's why.
oftentimes, if we got tired, we would get the bread service and take it back to the room and just eat it when we were so we could relax and chill.
Hmm. And the other thing is that's why I use a travel advisor because we're the ones getting up at 6 in the morning to book this. Or in Maureen's
Correct.
case, 5 o'clock
Five
in the morning.
o'clock. That's right.
And for some of our West Coast travel advisors, they just stay up all night because they're party animals out there anyway.
Right.
That's just they have to come in early to book stuff. No, they're all wonderful people. Next up is the Mara, which is in Jumbo House. This is near Boma and it's by the pool. And by the way, the Mara is the river that flows through Kenya and Tanzania. It's open from 6:30 in the morning to 11 o'clock at night. It's quick service. And this is where you go if you have your refillable resort mug. And so this is a great deal that you um, can purchase one of these special mugs, and then at your resort or any resort, you can fill it up for free all during your stay. And so it's great that in the morning you wake up, you get your coffee or your whatever drink you want for the day, you head off to the parks, then you take your midday break, go back to the resort, refill it again, go back to the parks. Then you come back, you refill it again, go back to your room, you have something for the evening. So it's a really, really good deal.
And we took ours with us to the park with a carabiner and clipped it to our bags. So we could fill it with ice water throughout the day.
Yeah. So even after you've had your drink in the morning, you have and it's environmentally conscious that you're not going through plastic water bottles. And now at the Mara, there are normal breakfast foods and pool foods during the day. And some have a little bit of an African flair to them. There's the
And you can
Victoria.
also
Go ahead.
get, by the way, you can also get the zebra jones there in the refrigerator section, by the way.
Note that Maureen knows everywhere you can get the zebra
Get a
domes.
zebra doe.
Like I scouted these out. I have a detailed map. All right.
That's right. We were so disappointed they didn't have them in the restaurant on the Destiny because we just figured we knew that by the, doing that feast of the the African restaurant themed the dining room, we knew they'd have to have zebra domes on there. No, they did not.
Come
It
on,
was
Lion King
sad.
people. We got to
I know,
step it
right?
up. Simba would like to eat them. So
Right? I yeah,
Mufasa would approve.
absolutely.
Now, also at Jumbo House, if I can say the word correctly, right? There's Victoria Falls Lounge, and this is on the second floor above Boma, and it kind of overlooks Boma, so like kind of
Hmm.
sits back and you can see down there. It's only open in the evenings, 4 o'clock until um, 11 o'clock at night. There are some African-inspired bar foods like marinated olives with almonds, the Brai burger, Brai. This is venison beef blend, Munster, is that chakalaka jam, green tomato pickle, peri peri aioli, and then it's served with seasoned chips. There's also the wood roasted peri peri shrimp, which is roasted shrimp with peri peri marinade, crispy batura bread, and harissa butter. There's a spiced goat dip or goat cheese dip with assorted breads. So there's more bread
We're not
service
dipping
for
the
you.
goat.
No.
We're not dipping the goat, no.
And then there's the grub board, which again, false advertising. There's no grubs, although they do taste like chicken. Thank you, Timon and Pumbaa. But
That's right.
it is filled with meats and cheeses. And by the way, Victoria Falls, another one of the great uh, waterfalls named for Dr. Albert Falls, just like Schweitzer Falls on the Jungle Cruise. Jambo House also has the Cape Town Lounge and Wine Bar. This is near Jico, open in the evenings from 5 o'clock till 9:30. And you can also order some appetizers from Jico there. There's the Uzima Springs Pool Bar in Jumbo House. This is near the pool, open from 11 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. They have alcoholic and non alcoholic drinks. And then over at Kidani Village is the Maji Pool Bar. Believe it or not, it's near the pool. And Maji, Maji, is water in Swahili. Open from 11 in the morning till 10 at night. Normal pool foods. And again, some have a little bit of an African flair to them. Now, speaking of those pools, there's the Uzima Springs Pool in Jumbo House. It is, I think I have a missed number in there. I think it's 11,000 square feet. It's 234,980 gallons. You couldn't fit like 20 more gallons in there to make it a nice 235.
Make a nice even number. Yeah.
It's also zero depth entry. It has a 67-foot water slide. There are large canopy trees and Floridian palms along, so you get some nice shade. There's also poolside activities during the day, and there's also a hot tub. And this will kind of overlook the Uzima Savannah. It's right near where the Savannah comes in. In Kidani Village, there is the Samawati Springs Pool. It's 4,700 square feet, only 118,138 gallons. Okay, that's a pretty big pool anyway. It has a longer water slide that's 128 feet long. This is where there are also poolside activities and another hot tub.
And you can use both. I mean, you can go back and forth. It's just like other, you can, if you want to go to the larger pool over at Jambo House, you can,
Yeah,
or vice versa.
you are not allowed to go to pools at other resorts, but within a resort, you can go to whichever pool you want.
Right.
Doesn't matter where you're staying. Also in Kidani Village, there is the Uwanja Camp, which is like a water playground splash area. There's three different areas for it, and they're even designed for different ages. So there's the observation station, which is for kids ages 4 and younger. You have to climb through some cargo crates, unscramble animal images. I know those are neat little things. And then my daughter doesn't like unscrambling them. She likes to scramble them up even more. And there's also a gently bubbling geyser and a shallow pool. So a nice little splash area for younger kids to stay cool in the warmer summer months. There's the departure zone for ages 5 to 7 as a leaky water tower and some squirting African irises. So some flowers that are going to get you wet. And then there's base camp, which is for ages 8 and up, and it has water cannons for them to shoot each other. Which that's one of my daughter's other favorite activities is squirting people with water. No other recreation. There's the Hakuna Matata Playground. This is in Jumbo House. It's near the Uzima Springs Pool, and it overlooks the flamingo area of the Uzima Savannah. So this is a nice thing. As your kids are playing on the playground, you get to watch some of the animals. And as the kids are playing on the playground, sometimes they might just go over and watch the animals anyway. There's Pumbaa's Fun and Games Arcade in Jumbo House. This is near the pool, open from 8 in the morning to 11 at night. Now, one caution here that it does cost extra to pay. Although it's not like whenever we were kids, Maureen, where you're pumping in the quarters, you get a
Right.
little
No,
like
this
credit
is a
card thing.
card thingy. Yeah.
I don't know. It just takes the fun away. It's different. There's something about putting the
Yes, you
quarters
put the
in,
coin in. Yes.
just like slot machines at
I
casinos.
was going to say it's the same thing. I don't, it used to be fun just to put like a nickel in or a dime or a quarter and pull a little handle. And now you don't.
Just pushing the button, it loses
Yeah.
some of it.
You also lose a lot faster.
Yeah, that time it takes to put the quarter in.
See, it takes time for that.
Yeah.
That's right.
So this is why they do it. Now there's also a arcade over near or over in Kidani Village. It's near the front desk. It's called Safari So Good Arcade. So Maureen's giving a face. Yeah, the puns, the plays on words, you know. There's Simba's Activity Center in Jumbo House. This is next to Pumbaa's Fun and Games Arcade. Open from 11 in the morning till 9 at night. You can do arts and crafts there, games, video games, like board games and then video games. Anyone who's 12 and under will need an adult to be there. Although if my daughter's going in, I'm going to play with her too.
Right?
I'm going to kind of use that as my excuse of, oh yes, my daughter wants to come in and play. Meanwhile, she's there, Daddy, can we leave? I'm like, no, come on.
No, you want to play.
Aren't you having fun? Come on, there's another board game. Let's do this. Now, in Kidani Village, there is a community hall, which is common among all of the at least most of the DVC resorts
Most of the
that they have
DVC
one.
resorts, yeah.
Nearly all of them have it. And this is near the front desk, and they have activities in there throughout the day. There's also ping pong, video games, billiards. You can rent equipment for basketball, shuffleboard, tennis, pickleball, and grilling. And speaking of those sports, this is it's a little bit southwest of Kidani Village that there are two tennis slash pickleball courts. There is a half court for basketball, and that's where the shuffleboard is, and they have barbecue grilling pits. So if you want to cook out on a well, if you're during the summer, you don't need any charcoal. Just toss it on the grill, and it's hot
Right.
enough that it'll grill by itself. But in the cooler months, you can actually use you need to use charcoal. There is the Palace Library. This is near in Kidani Village. It's near the front desk. It's a nice little place just to sit and relax. There's the Zahanati Massage and Fitness Center. This is in Jumbo House. It's on the far southeast wing of it. So you go to the very like end of the resort. Just follow the hallways until you can't reach anymore, you know? There's in Kidani Village the Survival of the Fittest Fitness Center. And this is near the Samawati Springs pool. So yeah, the names.
Yes, the names.
Besides like being a jungle cruise skipper, I think coming up with names for things in Disney, I would love that.
That's your next career.
Yeah. Whenever I retire from doing other stuff, I will be
That's
moving
right.
to one of the Disney resorts and I'm going to work there. There's the Sunset Lounge. This is in Jumbo House that overlooks the Sunset Savannah. And this is a really nice place to just sit and relax. And, if you're getting there a little bit early and your room's not ready, or you just need a place to get away from everything after you've been in the park for a while, or it's your day that you're going to leave and, you're not going to go to the airport yet, great place to look over the savannah and see some animals. Each evening, they have campfires. There's one at Jumbo House and at Kidani Village. The Jumbo House one overlooks the Arusha Savannah, and it's at the Arusha Savannah Overlook. Amazing with the naming. I told you, perfect for this.
All right.
Now, this is like in the middle of the U of the building. So it's kind of like right where the stem of it, like the Y stem comes up or the slingshot stem handle would come up and then it goes like right on the other side out to overlook the savannah. In Kidani Village, it's at the Pemba Savannah Overlook, which is like the northern end of the pool area. It is from 6:30 in the evening till 7:30. Marshmallows are free to roast, but if you would like to have s'mores kits, you would have to pay for those. And if that wasn't enough, they have movies under the stars. At Jumbo House, it's at the Hakuna Matata playground. At Kidani Village, it's at the Pembe Savannah Overlook by the pool. 3 nights of the week, it's going to be at Jambo House. The other 4 nights at Kidani Village. It's at 8 o'clock in the evening. So every night you're there, if you want to watch a movie, you can do that. And usually it's going to be some Disney classic.
Oh, yeah.
Now, some other activities you can do in the lobby. This is pretty neat. They have this at, I believe, all the resorts. It's called Find a Friend. So at Jumbo House, you have to find a Pumbaa photo prop, take a photo of it, and take it to the Simba Activity Center, and you get a prize. Now, the prize is usually like a sticker or something like that, a couple stickers, things like that. Over in Kidani Village, you have to find Timon.
And it's not the same every day. So just because you think you found him one day, it's not going to be the same place the next day.
Yeah, it's kind of like the elf on the shelf that he moves around, that they're moving
Mm-hmm.
around each day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a neat little scavenger hunt to try and find, what you're looking for. They have string of memories activities. So this is pretty neat that you do a bunch of activities and you collect beads. And then there are 4 different locations at Jumbo House that you learn about animal tracking, flamingo behavior, animal enrichment, and African wonders. And then at Kidani Village, there's 3 places that you learn about the music of the savannah. There's a thing called Have You Heard? And then Bio Blocks. And these are all hosted by African cultural representatives. So it's a neat thing. You can learn a bit about the culture of Africa, and then you get those little beads as a nice little keepsake as a collection.
We actually did the same thing. They had a similar one in at Alani, Aulani at Disney Spa in Hawaii. to bring that back to you.
Thank you.
And it was the same thing. It was they had a little scavenger hunt, and everything you got a little one of their beads they use for their leis, and then we you made a keychain at the end. So we all have ours that we did after we do our scavenger hunt.
Oh,
It's
that's
fun.
awesome.
Oh, it's great.
And that's the thing that there's still a few more things we're going to talk about. But if you're going to do a resort day, this is where you want to be.
Yes, yes. And again, like I said before, what I really enjoy, and the same is the reason I like Animal Kingdom so much. That's my favorite park. This is my favorite resort. And it's the people that are from those countries, the people from Africa. They are so proud of their heritage, much like in Hawaii. They are so excited to share. So when you stand there and they have all these things and they're sitting there talking to you, they love sharing what they know with you. And we've talked to cast members that are telling us how they ended up at Disney and how they got there and what they did back there. And if you have time to take that opportunity to do that, it really makes it a really worthwhile, unique experience that you're not going to get at most of the other resorts.
And that's true of just about any of the cast members that if you take time just to talk to them, some of them have
Hmm.
some really amazing stories. And particularly if you're going to go to Epcot and walk around the World Showcase where you have
Yes.
people, again, from other parts of the world that we've talked about this here, that whenever we did the episode about um, Disney Cruise Line, the Lighthouse Point,
Hmm.
it
Yeah, with the
talks
Bahamas and
with
yeah.
the Bahamas, and people are proud of where they're from and they want to tell you about it. And if you're willing to listen, you know, or you're curious enough about it, by all means ask, and you will learn an awful lot, and you'll get some
Hmm.
great personal history and some good stories. Because and I found this out from just other people that living in Morgantown, West Virginia, with West Virginia University, that there are people from all over the world. And like my daughter's school, there are in their gym they have flags of the nations of where each where different students are from,
Oh,
and
what an awesome idea.
it's like a United Nations there that on some school nights you can walk down and you're hearing a dozen different languages being spoken. And just talking to some of those and, the parents of my kids' friends and other people I've met, that a lot of people have some really interesting backgrounds and stories of their lives, of what they've done and where they've been. And, um, you could create, all right, there's a great thing, a new Disney Plus series, cast member stories.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
All right, Disney listens to this podcast,
That's
so
right. That's right. That's great.
I'm willing to be an executive producer.
There you go.
Now, other things at there's the Jumbo House Lobby Art Tour. This is weekdays at 11 o'clock, and you can learn about the largest private collection of African art that's outside of Africa. So that says something about Disney right there. There's also medallion rubbing. This is in the Jumbo House lobby. There's also Wild About Painting that's in Jumbo House. This is near, or it's in Jico. This does cost extra. It's recommended for kids who are 12 years and older, but it's cost extra because you're paying for supplies to do the painting. And there's also in Kidani Village the African mosaic art. This is in the Palace Library. Again, costs extra, recommended for kids who are 12 and older. But again, you're paying to for the materials to make
Right.
this little mosaic thing, which how often do you get to take something like that home from your trip? So for you back in the now, I'm all about getting the extra mug that is for your resort or whatever else because we have more than we
A
need.
collection, probably. Yeah.
We have a nice collection of those. But I mean, how about that for a display piece on your mantle of, hey, what's that? Oh, let me tell you about it.
And I made it.
And Maureen has one. And she'll tell you all about it whenever you go visit her. Now, there's also places to shop. There's the Zawadi Marketplace at Jumbo House and Johari Treasures in Kidani Village. And they have your normal Disney merchandise, but they also have stuff that is themed to the Animal Kingdom Lodge, that's a big thing. Like Maureen said about her daughter getting the different pins for each of the resorts that you stay at. It's getting that little keepsake of, yes, I stayed there.
And Jambo House's marketplace is much better, bigger than Kidani's. Kidani's is very small. So if you're really looking for something, head on over to Jambo House, and there's a much larger selection, and it's just bigger because Kidani's lobby is smaller.
There's also laundry facilities if you're not going to stay in one of the larger villas. There's one in Kidani Village. There's also the Kuda Trail second floor laundry room. This is on the western wing of Jumbo House. There's Simba's Clubhouse laundry room on the east wing of Jumbo House, and the Zebra Trail fifth floor DVC laundry room, which is in the center of Jumbo House, on the fifth floor, believe it or not. And now transportation, it's going to be buses. So now you can also get a minivan, or if you're driving, you can do that too. But if you're going to use the Disney transportation, is only buses, which is kind of unique for deluxe resorts. That usually there's going to be some other form of transportation that you can use. Like around the ones around Seven Seas Lagoon, they have the monorail. Over in around Crescent Lake, they have the friendships you can also use, or the Skyliner. Even the
It's true.
Saratoga Springs and Old Key West have the Sassagoula River cruise that you can take over to Disney Springs. So it's a little bit different, but the other resorts don't have a savannah with a bunch of
And they
animals,
don't have
okay?
the animals. Exactly. There's a big difference. The one thing I will say, as far as Kidani, the biggest thing that we noticed the first time, and I still, every time we're over there, it's the same thing. You are at the parks all day. It's pretty chaotic. It's lots of noise. It's lots of music. It's loud. And you walk in that lobby, and it's Kidani even more so for me than Jumbo House, but you walk in that lobby and it's this sense of peace. It's the whole feeling you get when you walk in. It's quieter, the music's a little quieter, and you just feel like, oh, okay, I can relax now. And it's I every single time I'm there, I get that same feeling. And it
And it
doesn't
really,
hurt that Joe Rohde helped design that one along with Animal Kingdom and Aulani, a Disney resort and spa in Ko Olina, Hawaii. So, I mean, I think part of that too is I love all that care and the touches they put into it. But it's just that feeling you get in of, okay, I can take a breather now and I'll be ready to go back tomorrow to all the chaos. It's the fun of the Disney parks.
and I think it brings a little bit more of an emphasis of the common Disney phrase of welcome home.
Oh, very much so.
It brings, there's that something about like you come home from a long day at work, you're tired, whatever, you get inside, take the shoes off, relax on the couch. It's that familiarity. It's that happy place.
Yeah. It's one of those nice, yeah, it's one of those feelings you get when you walk in. And it's a beautiful lobby. Both of them are. They're absolutely incredibly beautiful. One thing that we didn't touch on, speaking of Animal Kingdom Lodge, they still are doing the Starlight Safaris at night
And that's a neat
at
thing.
Kidani. I believe it's at Kidani. It might be at Jambo House. Now I don't remember. But they still offer them. They also offer at night, they have cast members out there with night vision goggles. So you can use those to look and find the animals at night and see them at night with your night vision goggles, which is really cool. Or night vision, I think they're but they're goggles, but it's so cool. And
And
that one's now the safari's a charge, but having the cast members out there with the goggles, that's just if that's included. You can go out and do that, and you can see them at night.
and the Starlight Safari will cost you about $90 to 100 person dollars per person, uh, plus tax. Is offered twice a night. It's at 8:30 and 10 o'clock. At least now that it's getting lighter. Um, and yeah, you get to go out and see them in the with the night vision goggles. And ever since seeing Jurassic Park, whenever I was younger, and the kid had the night vision goggles, it's like I want one of those. So just to wear those and to say that you did it is
It
pretty
was, I
neat.
mean, we went out to just use the we haven't done the safari, but we went out to do the night vision goggles, and it was cool to see the animals that way. Totally different, totally different view of it. And just
And
ironically, by the way, our one dog is named Kidani.
I am not surprised.
We do. Our puppy, we have two little girls, and our one is she is Kidani.
And now a little bit of a disclaimer on this is that kids must be at least 8 years old to do this, and anyone under 18 does need adult supervision.
And you are
And
going out in a Jeep when you do that.
yeah, and it leaves from Kidani Village.
Okay,
And
yeah, it
it's
is Kidani. Yeah. About an hour and a half to do for the tour.
yeah, it says and to travel to anywhere within Walt Disney World if you're using the Disney transportation. So be careful with that. The meeting point is near the Savannah Overlook with the Sunset Savannah near Sanaa. So it's in the lobby, like basically where the point of the three is. And we can help set that up for you too.
Absolutely.
Now be careful that it can be a little bit of a rough ride. You know, you're going on these little Jeeps. So if you have heart or back problems, neck problems, things like that, then be cautious. Maybe talk to your doctor about that. And they want you to arrive a little bit early and be careful that if there is inclement weather that they could cancel. So they are equipped to go out in some rain and stuff like that, or if it's wet. But if it's been real bad, then they will need to cancel. So do this one earlier in the your stay, just in case there's an issue. You can always try to reschedule.
Right.
So, Maureen, would you like to give a travel tip?
It was funny because when Casey and I were on our Disney trip last time, we were sitting in the Nomad Lounge at Animal Kingdom. I know it's surprising to everybody. And there's on the top of the walls, there's all these questions about what was the first time you did this when you travel? What do you think is what do you like to do when you travel? What is your best experience when you travel? And so we sat there and did these questions back and forth with each other. And one of them was, what makes traveling special for you? And we both decided it's finding new things to do every time you go someplace, even if it's a repeat trip. You may go to Disney 1,001 times, but there's going to be always something new that you can try or some new experience you can have. And you need to be open to those new experiences, be it a new food, a new restaurant, a new way that you go into some park and you experience a different area. Whatever you do, there's always going to be something new you can do. And to be in that moment and experience that and not be in a rush to get A to B to C to D, I think makes travel just a world that's open to you.
And I think that's why we travel, is to experience something that you normally do not experience on your everyday life. And when that's something new, that's how you, those are your more, at least for me, that's usually the most memorable things.
Hmm.
Like every trip to Disney is different for us. And especially with a little girl who, as she's getting bigger, that the first time we went, we rode the merry-go-round, I don't know how many times. The next one, she was tall enough that she could ride a few of the more thrill rides. Then the one time she was just a hair tall enough. She was like just barely 42 inches. So we got to do Cosmic Rewind and some of the other roller coasters. Then this past trip, she was just barely 48 inches tall. So she got to ride Rock and Roller Coaster.
Oh, cool. Before it closed.
So yeah,
Lucky.
and we all this last trip we only did 2 days at Disney, so we didn't get to go to Magic Kingdom, so she didn't get to ride Tron yet, but she's excited to do that for the next trip. But we made it. We went to Universal, and so she got to ride all the things there that was a 48-inch height requirement, and so she was thrilled to do some of those.
Oh, yeah.
Now, before I give my travel tip, though, we talked about the attention to detail and the respect for culture when we talked about Lighthouse Point. And the same thing is here, and when we talked about Alani as well. Same thing with the Animal Kingdom Lodge. And that is a huge shout out to Joe Rody that um, he knows his stuff and he travels and he has that awareness of talking to other people, bringing people in who know the subject better than even he does, just to bring out that authenticity and to get those details in to whatever he's designing. And he's done this also with some of the parks that are in China, in Japan, in France. That it's bringing a bit of the local culture to make it that much more special. So,
If there's one Disney person I would like to meet, it's Joe Rody.
and if you listen,
He's on the top of my list.
and if you listen to our episode that's kind of like in mid to late March when we talk about magical experiences, we have a description of one of our other travel advisors who got to meet Joe Rody. So I know she's talked to you about that too, Maureen. That it's Elaine. She
Oh,
got to
okay. Oh, more.
Yeah, she was a
Yes.
cast member at Disney. This was not
Yes.
when she was a cast
She
member.
is. No, she was. She's told me about the experience because she was on the coaster, and we've shared how exciting that would be. She actually taught with my daughter.
I think she mentioned that. Did she?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, no, she told me that, and I was extremely jealous. Absolutely extremely. That's one person that I have a great deal of respect for, and he has got an amazing talent. And I'd love to be able to meet him.
I've told this on here before and on that episode too when I was talking to Elaine that I had a an email correspondence with Marty Sklar. It was mainly about getting his. I bought his book and got him to sign it for me, which was amazing. He such a genuinely great guy. Both that I've seen him both on the interviews with him and just the brief correspondence. That sadly he's passed away now, so I'm not going to get to meet him. But I was going out to Disney the one time, Disneyland, and I even emailed him and said, "I'll buy you lunch if you. I'll take you to free lunch." But he politely begged off because he was doing family stuff, and this one he was, he was in his 80s, so I figured I would get that response. But hey, that was the worst that was going to happen. Was he going to say no?
Right,
Took the
right.
shot. But anyway, my travel tip. So, like all of the Disney resort hotels at Walt Disney World Resort, and would include those at Disneyland Resort as well, Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge is a destination in itself. That you can enjoy a vacation here and never go to the parks, especially with all the other activities and the animal watching opportunities. And you can also learn some things about, with all your exposure to the African culture. However, be careful if you're bringing young kids. Make sure that they're okay with being around animals. And you'll never be able to touch these animals, and they can't touch you. So that can be a comforting thing if they're a little bit skittish. You only see them, and they're not interested in eating you. So don't worry about that. But for example, the little 4-year-old girl who lives across the street from us is absolutely terrified of dogs. That this is kind of bad because there's like just about every other house on our street has a dog
Has a dog.
and they all go on walks. So you see dogs going up and down the street all the time, which my daughter loves because she like knows every dog's name now. But there's some big collies that live in the house behind us, and they're fenced in and they never cause any problems. They're great dogs, and the people who own them are great too. It's kind of funny that the guy actually went to high school with two of my uncles, like
Oh, wow.
in let's see, this would have been in the mid 50s, up in Pittsburgh. But in moved in and we started talking. He's like, "Oh yeah, I went to this school." I was like, "Oh yeah, I went to that school too." When did you graduate? And matched up that he actually had his yearbook and I saw my uncle's two pictures in it. It's like, "Yep." So, but the dogs are fine. They're great dogs, but they can be loud. And so the little girl was in our front yard and the dogs were out and she panicked. Now they were still
Oh,
like
no.
30 yards away from the dogs and they're up on a hill so you couldn't even see them. They're behind a, wooden fence, but she heard the barking and it scared her. And so you don't want something like that to happen where your youngster gets freaked out by being close to some big animals because those giraffes, they can be imposing. They're very docile mostly and they're gentle and, they're great to look at, but they're big. So take your kid to the local zoo, see how they react before you stay at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, just to have like a little dry run through. And we've suggested this too with meeting the characters that if they meet the Easter Bunny or if they meet Santa Claus or if they meet a mascot at a local baseball game or, sporting event, whatever, just to see how they're going to handle stuff like that or, desensitize them before you go all in on one of these trips. Now, if you have a destination or an experience that you'd like to have us discuss on the Where Yinz Goin podcast, or if you'd like to share your favorite place to visit or have a travel tip, feel free to contact me. I would love to hear your feedback and ideas. Maureen, how can people get a hold of you?
Dreams by Design Travel with Maureen's Facebook, and Instagram is Maureen Dreams by Design Travel.
Here at the podcast, we are on Facebook and X at Where Yinz Goin. Yinz is Yinz, Goin, Goin, with the apostrophe and the question mark at the end. Don't forget that. Email Matt, M-A-T-T, at dreamsbydesigntravel.com. All of this information is going to be in the episode description. So if you want to contact us to book a trip or have any questions, you know how to find us. You don't have to have it written down now. Although, at this point in time, if you haven't written Maureen's contact information down with all the time she's been on, what are you doing? Get on it, okay? Maureen, it has been wonderful to have you on to talk about your favorite resort
My
at,
favorite
at
resort
Walt Disney World.
at
Yes,
Disney World. We'll say that one, yes.
because there's favorites
And
elsewhere
it's
too. Yes,
there are favorites elsewhere too, but it is Animal Kingdom Lodge is my favorite at Disney World.
and it's
And
unfair
it's
to
been
ask you to
fun
rank.
as always, by the way.
Yeah, it's unfair to rank for ask you to rank them all because it's what's my
Yeah,
favorite.
no.
It's either what was the last one I stayed at or which one I'm staying at next is usually how it goes. But for everyone else out there, please like, follow, subscribe, leave a review, tell a friend, let other people know about the awesomeness because I hope you had as much fun as Maureen and I did. It's always this much fun.
Always.
And if you want to have even more fun, please join us next time because we're heading out in that. We'll see you later.